Hi there, I'm Nikita and welcome to another video on my channel. This is a follow-up video, so the second video to the most essentials you should bring with you to Germany if you're traveling to Germany for the first time as a student, especially when you're traveling to Germany with airways, so with the plane, and you have a luggage limit. In this video I will share with you the study essentials you should bring to Germany. The very first thing is textbook. If there's any textbook that you think is a mandate for you and you have to have it with you all the time because it has all the concepts that you need for your studies, just put it in your luggage. If it's way too heavy, you can do one thing, you can check online if there is an online PDF version of it. If not, then you can check if there is somewhere a website which offers a scanned copy of this book and you can buy it in a cheaper price. Then you should research for it. And if you think it's also like you don't want to have this book online and you want to have it desperately with you as a hard copy, then keep it. Second thing you should have in your study essentials is a pencil box, or like anything that has all the items which I listed down here. 2 to 3 pencils, like regular pencils, sharpener, pens, a ruler, like a scale, an eraser, and highlighters. This is really important because when you reach Germany, you don't really have time, at least you don't have it on your priority list, that I have to go to stationery and buy these things. If you have them with you, you can just start the process. And with the process, I mean when you arrive, like if you're not arriving right before the lectures, if you're arriving, you have to do a lot of formalities where you need pencils, pens to write down something, or you want to highlight something. If they give you a pamphlet or a book that these are the essentials that you should have in your mind when you are here, or these are the processes that you have to go through, these are the registrations, blah, blah, blah. So whenever you have all these documents, having a pencil box with you is always nice, because you can write down important things, you can highlight important things, and you don't have to rush to stationery to just buy a new one right away. And second reason why you should have a pencil box is, in my opinion, it's very expensive to buy stationeries. So a regular pencil would cost 99 cents or something, so it's like 80 rupees for one pencil, where in India you can actually buy a whole box of pencils in 80 to 100 rupees. So it's also money saving for you if you have already a stationery ready with you in a pencil box, and very much handy whenever you are doing processes like registrations or going to orientation courses. This brings me to my very third point. The third thing you should have is not textbooks, registers. These people call it block here, and I think you can call notebooks, not textbooks, my bad. So always carry 2 to 3 notebooks, in which one can be a tiny notebook, so you can have it handy with you in your bag, and the other 2 can be like big notebooks, in which if you want to write something in your lectures or orientation course, then you have it with you. So notebooks are very essential again. Why? Because when you go to some place, you don't want to rush to buy stationery, and if it is with you, you can just always write down points right away in your notebook, slide it in your bag, and there you are. Next thing is a stapler. Really essential. I do not have it, I had to buy it here. Really essential because often you get empty sheets of papers and you don't really know what to do with them, and sometimes you lose some of them. It's okay if it's just information page, then you can Google things online or you can ask your friend, but it's really bad if it's something that belongs to you and you must have it because it's a legal document. Like if you register somewhere and they ask you, okay, that's your copy, keep it with you because just in case we might need it, or you might need it for your visa extension, and you lose it, it's really bad. Then you have to go back again, get a new one, and so on. So always have a stapler because it will help you staple the things. And this brings me to the next item. Always have 2 to 3 tiny file folders where you can slide in all these documents that you have stapled or that you have free, like individual documents, in this file folder. I remember, just one file folder with me, which was my mistake, which had all my original documents, so my degrees or my school certificates and other things, I did not have any empty file folder for myself, and I was always trying to squeeze in the new things into it, and 2-3 documents got damaged, and then I had to rush to a stationery and buy these items, and it was not nice because, again, these items are expensive in Germany. If you want to save time, effort, energy, money, and all that stress you have, just bring 2 to 3 extra thin, transparent file folders with you, and one slightly thick file folder in which you can put your thicker documents, and you always are sure that, okay, your documents are safe. They are not just lying around anywhere in your room, or they are not just somewhere inside the register or below the bed or in between your laptop and so on. Next thing is, if you don't plan to buy a laptop, a tablet, a phone, then you should bring your laptop, its charger, and the correct charging thing, the charging socket, with you already before you come to Germany. I remember that I did not bring a laptop with me. I had a kind of phablet, so it was a tablet with a SIM card option in it, and I had it with me, and I didn't need for the very first days any laptop for my studies. But it was a huge disadvantage because when I was going to lectures, so I did not need any laptop, but still when I was sitting with my friends and we were solving exercises, my phablet was not working so well, and it was really difficult to type on it and to check the email and then, you know, write a report and do stuff like that. And since I did not have much money in the beginning, I had to wait for like a month or 2 until I asked my mother to transfer more money, and then I bought a laptop, it came online and so on. It was a huge hustle. It was not cheaper in Germany. It could have been much better for me to already have a laptop from India, its charger, everything ready, so that the moment I start my lectures, I have a laptop with me and I can work actually without stress. So it's nice to have laptop already, because if you're thinking that buying a laptop in Germany is cheaper, then it's actually not. It's the same price in India. So basically all the electric or electronic items, they are roughly the same price like in India. They are not cheaper here. In fact, some would be slightly more expensive than cheaper. So if you were a student and you know that you need a laptop in your studies, which you will need to make reports, to write theses or projects or other things, do have them from your country, so travel with them. Next is calendar for schedules. I these days have 2 things. I have an online calendar where I write all my appointments, but I have started to find it really cumbersome because I always have to now go online, check my appointments, or check on my phone. So I have started getting into this traditional way of writing appointments on a piece of paper or something inside called a Notizbuch, so a notebook, and I very much enjoy that. I would recommend either you carry in your laptop, so you have a synced calendar on your phone as well, or if you don't have a calendar on your phone and you are like, okay, I would not need any appointments, then I would say you're wrong. And in that case, you should always have a notebook with you, and in that notebook you can always write things. And this notebook should not be a regular notebook, but it's better that if it's a calendar kind of notebook. So a thing I can show you right away, a thing which is somehow appearing like this. So this is very thin. It's not really thick. It's really thin. And you can always write down, on this day I have this appointment, and you can always have it right next to you on your table. And every day when you get up, you can check, okay, today I have all these appointments, visa appointments, lectures, or exercise appointments with my friends and so on. It's something not urgently required when you arrive in Germany. But again, as I say, you probably won't go to a stationery, and you might not have time to go to a stationery and buy a calendar that you want and that you like, that's also falling in your budget. So it's always better to have it with you before you come. Another thing is always carry a USB with you, at least one USB with like 8 GB of space in it. So two USBs with 16 GBs, because you might lose some data if you're not carrying a USB. And by that I mean sometimes it happens that university wants your documents right away emailed, and you say, okay, I have to now take my originals and go to a place in university, scan them and send them. One option is that you have them as a backup on your cloud, Dropbox, email, so you can always access them. But if you don't have that, which I think is wrong, you should always have an email with all your documents. But additionally, you should always have your USB, because what if you're not able to access your email and you are now there at a place where you have to give your documents? You can always plug in the USB and there your documents are, and then you can say, okay, here are my documents, and do whatever you want with them. Of course, you don't give your documents to somebody who's not known to you, but if university asks you, then you can at least plug in your USB, have the documents, write another email from a friend's email if you're not able to access yours for whatever reasons. Having a USB is always good, and you can always have additional data in it, like your favorite songs, your favorite movies. Of course, not in the highest quality, but it works out. Another thing is Post-its. I also think that Post-its are something I don't know what would I do without them. So having Post-its is also important, because when you reach and there is some important thing you want to write, you probably don't want to check in your calendar always, or you've forgotten. You can always stick them on your wall and you have it right next to you. So again, like all the other stationaries, it's good to have Post-its, because you can always write the most essential things, stick it on your wall, and you will not forget them. Last but not the least, always have a bag with you, side bag, a rucksack, or a kind of handbag, whatever suits you. Always have a bag with you when you are coming to Germany. The reason is the same. When you're traveling to Germany, or when you're traveling, first of all, like me, for the very first time to a new country, everything is overwhelming. And everything is like, okay, I might not need this. Oh, I will buy it there. I will buy the most new fashion bag. But don't really do that. Sometimes you don't really have time to go and shop for things. And again, as said before, even if you have time, you don't know whether you will like the bags that shop offers. And if you do, whether they are falling in your budget. So always carry a rucksack with you, so that whenever you have to go somewhere to an important appointment, like to visa appointment or registration appointment at university, or you have to register your apartment in the Rathaus, which is basically the city center office, then you don't have to think or take things in your hand like you'd carry a whole folder in your hand. You can just take your rucksack, slide the file bag inside the rucksack, or your slide bag, sling bag, I don't know what is it called, and just go. And if it's raining, snowing, your bag is just closed and it's ready to be protected with an umbrella. So I think these are the study items that you should always have with you when you're going as a student to Germany. And anything other than that, in my personal opinion, is not necessary, because you can buy that in Germany sooner or later. But these are the things that you should have with you, so that you have a good start. You are not having panic, you are not stressed, and you can also save your effort and money and energy if you have them. I hope this was an informative video for you. Much love.